Hey everyone, it's Sylveria, and today I wanted to talk to you about art and rejection because I have experienced this so many times I've lost count. Um, so I just kind of wanted to, share some ways on how to deal with it. And so I've dealt with rejection all the way back from when I was in college trying to get into an upper level of drawing classes because at the time I was majoring in studio art and I had to go through a portfolio review, and I failed that review, but then it kind of worked out because then I just kind of forged a different path, which was changing schools and getting a degree in like game design art and learning how to do 3D stuff, and that's where I just kind of like veered off from there. And then obviously I've had very many times where I've like applied to studios and had gotten rejections and that kind of thing. So so rejection is not something that I'm like unaware about, or just something that like I've dealt with for a long time. And so I think one thing is it feels bad every time it happens, whether it's like you don't get any kind of response at all, or whether you do get some feedback, which if possible, I recommend getting some feedback on, why, what you can improve on, whether that's just, whether somebody looked at your portfolio or getting a mentor, or, putting your work out there and getting some feedback from people and see if there's any common things that people are pointing out to you. And I think the biggest thing is just to keep working on your art. If you need to, you can always take a break for a little bit and just kind of maybe step back from it. Because I've had to do that a few times where maybe the rejection was so bad that I just needed a break. But then I always came back to art, and then like somewhere around like 4 years ago is when I was like, okay, I need to get serious about this, and if I really want to do this, then I need to work on it every day in order to achieve my goals. And it's interesting because for the longest time I was so used to either just getting like no feedback at all, or like really harsh feedback, or feedback that wasn't necessarily helpful in the beginning, like because sometimes I get feedback like, oh yeah, your work is great, when in all honesty it was actually really bad. And I'm not just saying that because I'm really hard on myself and I'm my own worst critic, but really sometimes people who are like close to you, or don't want to hurt your feelings, maybe say that it looks better than it is, and then but in reality that's not really helpful. So I think what's always kind of helped me was getting feedback from people that I trust, in terms of like somebody who's already doing the work that I am aspiring to doing, or even just like paying for a mentor, like going through a workshop or a mentorship and getting some honest feedback, something that's gonna be helpful and help you grow further. Because art's a journey. There's no like quick, shortcut to take in order to, all of a sudden like, get to be, an awesome artist or whatever. But I guess the other thing too that kind of helps me is like looking at other successful people, and that's not even just artists, just like anyone who's successful, anyone that you admire, an author, a writer, whoever. Like you could always like look into their story and see like how long it took for them to get to where they are. And most of the time it actually takes quite a while before people actually achieve their dream goals, whereas most people would give up. So that's helped me in the past when I felt really low, like, oh my gosh, I'm like never gonna get better. But when really it's a journey. The whole thing is a journey, and you have to fall in love with the journey and the process, which is really difficult. Something I've struggled with, because I tend to kind of look at the end goal and I'm like, hey, I really want to get there, and I don't really enjoy the present. So that's something I have to try to work on, is enjoying the present and the journey itself. And then also kind of, setting goals helps too, whether it's like, okay, I'm gonna finish one art project a month, or I'm gonna finish 4 in a year. Like, whatever works with your schedule is what's important. You don't want to burn yourself out, or which is something I struggle with too, is like overworking and not really giving myself time to chill out for a little bit and not get so overwhelmed with my goals. And let's see what else has helped me. And what's interesting is, like, over time, and I'm talking like years of just like working at it, if you're working at it really hard every day, is that you'll start to see a shift in responses. Whereas, like, you put your art out there and you might not really get any attention or any likes, or maybe sometimes somebody that an artist or somebody you admire will, actually genuinely like your work, and that's just like, yes, it's a really great like boost there. Or I think what's something that's surprising to me now is, like, because I'm always just like expecting the worst, and then when people actually genuinely like artwork that I create, I'm just like, whoa, really? Like, it's just kind of shocking. But also, in terms of like portfolio stuff, when I kind of like got like a really honest, I guess, review on my stuff, or I took a look back and like, here's the work I've created, and has it really gotten me anywhere? And I realized that, like, I wasn't necessarily proud of any of the work in there. None of it was actually good. I ended up just like scrapping all of it, which really all of it was like student work, which you want to put in, you want to, make your own art projects, build off of what you've learned from those, classes that you took or tutorials that you did. So yeah, like, I think like 4 years ago, I ended up just kind of like, okay, I'm scrapping my entire portfolio and starting fresh. And then I just focused on making really quality pieces that I was proud of to put in my portfolio. And it's been like a long journey, and my portfolio is still pretty small, so I still need to add to it. So that's really something I'm focusing on now, is focusing on adding more work to my portfolio, expanding it, so it's bigger. And yeah, so those are just a few things. Everyone goes through it. Sometimes even journaling about it helps. I've done that too. Or just like listing out things that you have accomplished kind of feels good too. Because sometimes you just kind of forget, like, oh yeah, that's right, this happened, or I did achieve this, so it kind of helps you, feel better. But I think the one thing though is just to not give up. Don't give up on your dream, your goals. You will get there. It just takes time and persistence, and you just gotta believe in yourself and that it'll eventually work out. So yeah, I'm gonna end my vlog here, and if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. That'd be great. Like the video, leave me some comments. I really appreciate it when everybody leaves comments, so I can, talk with everybody in the comments. I don't know. But anyways, I also stream my artwork on Twitch, so you should follow me on there. It's just twitch.tv, Sylveria Dreams. And yeah, so I'll try my best to get back to my weekly vlogs. If there's any topic or any questions that you have, I can always talk about them in my next vlog. I still need to work on my time lapse for my night elf character that I made not too long ago. But anywho, thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.